What's up, 360 family? I am your host, Derrick. I'm here with Carter, Ryan, and Cadyn. How y'all feeling today?
Feeling great.
Feeling good, yeah.
I think the energy's pretty high, you know? A lot of people are getting sick, though.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting sick.
Sick.
Definitely. I do not have a voice right now.
It happens, but we got you.
It does happen.
Happens, but we got you. But let's get right into the football talk. We had an all-time classic, in my personal opinion. Ravens, Bengals, great game, interdivision rivalry, all the fun. Guys, what do we think? Anybody can take it.
I'll go.
Okay, talk to me.
So if I have to, talk about that game, the thing that sticks out to me is the Bengals going 1-4 now. So the Bengals are now 1-4, and this team had Super Bowl aspirations. And 1-4 teams, I don't even have to bring up statistics. They don't translate well in making the postseason. I still have faith in this squad because of that guy, Jamar Chase, who I think is a top 3 NFL receiver. So I think the Bengals will find a way, but this defense is concerning. They just lost Hill to an ACL tear in that secondary. And this was a must-win. They should have won this game. You have to now go to Baltimore and play them and try and split that series. And I don't know if that's going to be possible because the Baltimore Ravens, they're looking like a top 2 team in the AFC right now. And Lamar Jackson, again, he's playing out of his mind. He's showing that he is a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. And I think he's playing like a top 2 quarterback right now.
Top 2 right now, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty inexcusable loss for the Bengals. You're up by 10, I believe, 3 times in the second half. They were up by at least 10 points.
10 with 5:42 left.
Yeah, 38-28 with 9 minutes left in the fourth. And it's, at this point, it's kind of, just like I said, inexcusable for them to blow these games. We see it over and over again. And this is a regular season Week 5 game.
Yeah.
We've seen it in every stage. We've seen it in the Super Bowl against the Rams with that, PI call. Obviously, that's kind of out of their hands, but you still got to execute. That AFC Championship game against the Chiefs where Mahomes gets popped on the sideline, gives them a field goal to win the game, go to the Super Bowl. You are in too many of these situations as a team, year in, year out, to still not have a handle on it. I mean, people forget they had a minute 35 and 3 timeouts after Justin Tucker tied the game. 3 timeouts in a minute 35 with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I'm looking for 6. I
think he got sacked play 1, if I'm not mistaken. Play 1 of the 2-minute drill.
Lamar was cooking down the stretch. He was looking surgical through the air. Baltimore wanted that game, and they got that game. That's really what it boiled down to.
I mean, if I'm being fully honest, I think Zach Taylor should be on the hot seat.
I agree.
It's just questionable decision
decision.
after questionable decision. You're 1-4. You have a talented team, and you're just not performing up to standard. And this is how many years now where they start the season roughly? I mean, you look at overtime where it was just 3 conservative runs. I think all of them up the middle. Joe Burrow has 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. He was on a heater. Joe Burrow was on a heater.
When you throw 5 touchdowns, you got to win.
He had like an 80% completion percentage
and they literally
going into the
can't run
fourth or
ball.
something like that.
They can't run the ball. So they finished with 71 yards. You just got to be able to run the football in the NFL, and they can't. So that doesn't help with clock management and stuff.
It's like your team, though.
Yeah, hey, we outrushed the Steelers last. Actually, let me not say we. They. Outrushed. I was not on
separate
the field.
Entity. Okay.
They could have used me though. We were a little banged up.
I believe you. So we could transition there. How do you guys feel about the game last night between the Steelers and Dallas? The rain delay, I was snoozing. I was the rain delay had me going. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't lie. This sounds crazy. I watched that Miami-Cal game, woke up for the Vikings-Jets game, and stayed up for the Steelers game.
Jeez.
Probably should have went to bed. But I was like, I have homework anyway. So I'll stay up. So I stayed up. I watched the game, and I regretted it because the game was not good. I mean, it really wasn't that great of a game.
It was all right.
It was that great. But, a lot of criticism is going to be on Dak. When you have the star on the helmet, you're going to get that criticism. And I think rightfully so. He didn't have a great game. But when it mattered most, Dak Prescott drove his team down the field, and he won the game for them. 4th and goal. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. 4th and goal. Dak Prescott did what he had to do.
Oh, my.
In Pittsburgh, in enemy territory, after a delay. That is a hostile environment. Raining, thunder, lightning. Zeus himself did not want the Cowboys there, but he said otherwise.
Exactly, yeah.
So I have a lot of respect for Dak Prescott. I don't like the Cowboys at all. They are not them boys, but Dak, you get a nice B performance grade, I would say.
A B?
A B.
If Jalen Hurts came in here with
Jalen
3 turnovers on the next game, you guys would be slandering him.
That's the point.
You guys would be slandering him if Jalen Hurts came in here with 3 turnovers.
Listen,
you could
Jalen Hurts
that
probably
all
doesn't
those
win
were his
that game, though.
Exactly, that's my point. People grill Dak about not delivering, not getting the wins. And when he does it, we want to talk about stats.
He won.
But when he
won.
doesn't get the win,
but a B is a B with 3 a B.
My issue
that first pick, there was something.
B.
Clearly, that CD Dak connection is not where it needs to be, and that's evident by the last 2 weeks. I don't think
it is.
Dak did not just throw that football to no one for no reason. He thought someone was going to be there, and they weren't.
They got to get Dowdle going. I feel like that's the key. Like a lot of people don't realize, like if you can't get that run game going, especially if Brandon Cook's out right now, they're going to put all their attention on CeeDee Lamb, and Dak's going to be, looking for somebody.
And
then
Turpin had some catches as well. Yeah.
Tolbert got hurt in that game too. Went out, came back in, and got that game-winning touchdown. So, I mean, good for him. I'll let somebody else take it here.
I mean, I was not necessarily impressed by either team last night, especially Dak until that last drive. Justin Fields too. People say he's getting better every week. He's developing every week. I still think he's the same old Justin Fields we've been seeing.
No, he
and
looked
I think
really
last night was example of that.
I don't think that's all on him though. I think Arthur Smith is like
he's throwing a Pickens and that's what. I mean, Freiermuth is not a scrub. I don't want to say that.
He's not. But Arthur Smith, like, man,
not a good coach.
Not a good guy. Not a good coach.
Not a good coach. In the NFL, they're down Micah, they're down Marcus Lawrence, they're down 2 starting cornerbacks.
Run the ball.
It should have looked. They didn't even get past 100. That's all I heard was, Steelers were going to run the football. Rain game. You finished with 92 yards. So clearly missed the memo on that one, Mike Tomlin. But my point is, they should have moved the football way easier against that Cowboys defense. That even with Micah and DeMarcus Lawrence was not good the past 4 weeks.
I agree.
So it doesn't all fall on Fields, but
that's fair. So I do want to transition into something else. Before y'all go to the next slide, don't go to the next slide yet. This is a headline I just thought of. If anybody else besides Josh Allen came in here going 9 for 30, there would be a national announcement about it. But because it's Josh Allen, it's not on the show.
If Lamar Jackson went 9 for 30.
If Lamar Jackson went 9 for 30,
the agendas would be
there
outrageous.
Would be crazy rhetoric.
I'm glad you brought that up.
That's all I want to say.
Also, I want to bring up this about Josh Allen. He had a concussion. There's no way he didn't have a concussion.
100%.
But when it's the Dolphins, oh my God,
100%.
Blame the Miami training staff. When it's Josh Allen, apparently they gave him some smelling salts to get back in the game.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
He slammed his head pretty hard.
He had a concussion.
And that was before he was playing a good game, regardless. But yeah, the whole Josh Allen situation, he needed to have a little more scrutiny on his performance. And then I don't even know if he plays next week, or if he does, I don't think he should.
I think he does because the media has tried very hard to paint this. Josh Allen is an alien. Josh Allen is Superman. Josh Allen does things that not everybody else can do. So I'd probably bet money that he plays. Should he play? That's a totally different conversation.
That's fair. Yeah. I'm glad you actually brought that up because
I was just thinking about it, and I was like,
I haven't seen that once. Like scrolling on my phone, it's like, the Ravens and Bengals and like Cowboys won a close one. That's all. I mean, we're talking about it, but
yeah, I don't let Jalen Hurts go 9 for 30.
I mean, I still love Josh Allen, but like, yes, that's a valid point.
Yeah. It's a valid point. Okay, now we can thankfully transition to our next topic: poor predictions. I have one very close to me, but Carter, I want to start with you. Basically, in this topic, we're going to do a prediction that we thought was going to hit in the long run, but it's not currently hitting.
So I thought the Washington Commanders were going to be terrible. Yeah. I did. I thought they were bad.
It's kind of expected
every
season.
I got to give all the respect to this man, Jaden Daniels. I doubted him, doubted the team, doubted everybody. Besides Terry McLaurin, very underrated. Fair. But I did. But this young man is proving everyone wrong, and I'm glad he is. They're very fun to watch. He's a good guy. And I'm rooting for him. I am rooting for him. So I was very wrong about the Washington Commanders. They're looking like they could win that division. That division is wide open. All right, I know that's hard to admit.
No, it is.
Maybe.
It's bad football team.
That's
bad football team.
Even the Giants don't even look that bad. They've been in games. They've been in. Besides that Week 1 game. So I think this young man, he looks like the best quarterback through the first 5 weeks, and he's a rookie. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? They were the Cam Taylor Britt calling him out before they played the Bengals, saying, "Oh, that offense is a college offense," and
Yeah, I didn't.
If that's a college offense, then I guess everybody should be running it.
I think it is. I know what he means because they do a lot of
what he's saying,
screens,
but, I mean,
a lot
it's
of
working.
things like that. But in today's game, if you're just going to run too high all the time, running college offense is going to get you 35 points
Winning
a game.
football games.
Exactly.
Yeah. And no complaints.
Whatever gets it done.
So, yeah, good for them. Good for the Commanders.
Ryan, on to you.
I have Anthony Richardson. Personally, I thought this was the year he was going to make the jump. He's under Shane Steichen's offense, which is a great system for him to be under. We saw what he did for Jalen Hurts back in 2022. And he just hasn't panned out for me. When he's on the field, he's making questionable decisions. He's not throwing the ball very well at all. He'll have your occasional highlight where he bombs at 60 yards, but then he'll also throw 2 picks, 3 picks in that game. So at some point, you have to wonder, we knew he was a project. Is he worth continuing to start when you got guys like Flacco coming in and tearing it up under that offense?
I think he is.
It depends on.
I don't think the criticism's fair on him yet.
I don't think so.
He hasn't even had a year. He's had like 7 games. He's had like 7 games.
This is his rookie year. This is his rookie year, basically.
Exactly.
And he's coming off surgery on his throwing shoulder.
Yeah, no.
So, like,
and he was on a heater that first week.
It's fair to put it out there. I get it.
But I just thought I expected more out of him this year than what I've seen.
I want to give him another year. I feel like, I mean, it happens all the time. Like, we expect these quarterbacks, these young guys to go out and be a boom. Like, look at Caleb Williams. He didn't start playing very well until this last week. Again, it's against the Panthers, but our expectations with the young quarterbacks has been completely ruined with Justin Herbert and C.J. Stroud. They have passed the bar. The bar is not supposed to be that high.
Now too.
Yeah, Justin Herbert's just not in that situation for me, but I understand.
Peyton Manning was terrible his rookie year. Trevor Lawrence was bad his rookie year.
Trevor Lawrence is bad. Trevor Lawrence is bad.
I think Trevor Lawrence
is bad.
I don't think it's on Lawrence. That could be another topic. I think that coaching is. I think it's bad.
I have Nick Sirianni. I've seen it all.
So.
All right. Well, Cadyn, do you have anything about him before you go?
I mean, Anthony Richardson, he did not play much in Florida. I think, 8 starts?
Yeah.
Total.
Like that.
You need more reps.
He's young.
That arm talent is absurd. Some of the throws you see, he's not really able to hit the gimmies yet, and he'll get there. I know he will, but it doesn't help that he's hurt.
I think it's just touch, and he needs a real number one. Michael Pittman is good.
No, I don't think Pittman's bad. I don't think
good.
I don't think Pittman's fit.
He doesn't.
I don't think Pittman fits in that offense.
All Anthony Richardson does is remind me of Josh Allen before Diggs. That's all he does. That's all he does. Josh Allen had a 50-something completion percentage before Diggs. We're not going to act like he was this guy before Diggs.
No, that's
fair.
But
he needs that number one to just, okay, I could do this to you, but I can't do it to them.
He has a lot of depth.
He has to understand it. Like, he has to understand, I could throw this bullet pass, but I can't throw it to you. Exactly. And that's what he needs, in my opinion.
Well, my pick goes back to the NFC East. I was not expecting Malik Neighbors to be what he's been. Okay. I am documented on this show, may I add, saying that Malik Neighbors was the best wide receiver in college football last year. However, I did not think.
I don't
You're wrong.
It was
Marv. He was better than Marv stats-wise. But Malik Neighbors was the most dominant wide receiver in college football last year.
You're wrong, but it's okay. But it's all right.
Okay, he had Jaden Daniels throwing to him. Look who Marv had throwing to him. He's playing at Syracuse now. So.
He's still handicapped now when you really want to talk about it, but that's not my place.
That's my point, is that I wasn't doubting Neighbors per se. I was doubting the Giants and Daniel Jones and Brian Dable's ability to get him the football.
Don't doubt Dable.
Early and often.
Fair.
I am going to doubt Brian Dable. I don't know what
good.
I agree.
Dable's good,
I
man.
disagree, but
look what they did in Seattle. That's because of Dable. That is all Dable.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And Buffalo.
Yeah, you don't think Josh Allen is the man he is because of Dable?
I just think that
I agree.
I don't know. We could say that about a lot of coaches. Brian Dable doesn't just.
Can't say it about Nick Sirianni. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm on the hate tour.
He don't call the plays, but
I'm on the hate tour.
I mean, yeah, Malik Neighbors set all kinds of records already. Obviously, he missed this week because of a concussion. But I just wasn't expecting the Giants to get him the ball as much as they are, and he's on a tear. So that impressed me. I was wrong. I ducked him in all my fantasy drafts. I was like, he's not getting. He'll finish with 700, maybe 60 catches, and he's on a tear. So we'll see how he keeps going when he gets back. But
I mean, he's one of those rare receivers that appears to be QB-proof.
Yeah.
No matter who's behind it, you are going to produce, and you're going to give your team a chance, and he's been doing just that for the Giants.
I also like they look for him. Like, they really make it a point to get him the ball.
That's why I was so surprised.
I'll watch a Cardinals game And I'm just like, yo, Marvin, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
like I'm actually so sorry. Because they'll target him twice in the first quarter, and then it'll be like yesterday, it was like 4th and 8, 4th and 4.
He had a catch
he hasn't had a target in 3.5 quarters, and then they throw it to him, and he makes the biggest play of the game. So it's like, I just don't understand.
Who's ever running cardio is Mark Andrews. He had like a little bit of the game.
He got going compared to the few weeks.
He broke his leg.
I
know.
He broke his leg. It's just it's different, and Likely is a monster, but they don't want to use him right yet, and that's okay. My poor prediction. Got to talk about my birds. Got to talk about the Eagles. Man, it just really hurts me.
I get it.
Yeah. It just really hurt me. I really thought that Jalen Hurts was going to put all the turnovers behind him this year. And even in the Falcons game, I was like, wow, this is a 2022 Jalen Hurts game. And then our defense sold after Saquon sold. But it's just like Jalen Hurts will play an 8 out of 10 game for 3.5 quarters. And then there's 2 plays where he's just going to turn it over. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's coaching. Maybe he's in his head too much. I don't know what it is, but he's got to get it figured out. I still believe in him. I think he can get it figured out. 4 touchdowns, but he has like 7 turnovers on the year, picks and fumbles. It's not looking too good. Maybe we get our receivers back. He cleans that up, goes on a non-turnover streak. But I don't think Jalen Hurts has had a non-turnover game in like 10-plus games, like 10 to 13 games. That's a lot.
Common denominator.
And
that's a lot.
He plays well outside of those, I believe.
Outside of those 3 plays, it makes no sense.
Jalen Hurts.
But those just set back the entire team.
Yeah.
And I'm disappointed in him. I thought there was all that hype about his the preseason practice no interception record that he set that I was seeing all over Twitter. And that's just completely out the window now because you're counting on him to have at least 1 or 2 turnovers a game at this point.
Yeah.
My thing with his turnovers, it's not like, Hurts made a mistake, it's okay. It feels like whenever he turns the ball over, it's like, that is the worst turnover you could possibly make in this situation.
Yeah. It's
which is crazy to say, but it feels like that.
Killer turnovers.
And they're in the red zone, too. I'm pretty sure I saw a stat. He has 25% of all red zone turnovers by QBs, which, like, for the people that, don't do math that well, 1 in 4. Yeah. That's just not that good. That's not good at all, honestly. You can't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
And there are some plays where I'm like, okay, the receiver could have done this, but at the end of the day, it's just like, it just feels like an avalanche as a fan. You know what I mean?
I also think that, it's lazy to blame play calling. Like, it's just easy to do it.
I'm not blaming Kellen Moore.
I think that Kellen Moore has kind of like, we had him for about 4 years, put up a lot of points, a lot of yards, but in situational football games, it never clicked.
But that's not him. I've been watching us play situationally bad under Nick Sirianni for 3 years.
Yeah.
We just had Jalen Hurts on a heater, so he would cover it up. It's totally different.
I just think that there's more gimmies in the scheme. Obviously, Steichen left, so you can't really do anything about that. He's gone. But we saw the best of Jalen Hurts under that scheme.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's a scheme match for Kellen Moore. Maybe it's not doing hurt, but maybe it's not like harming, but I don't think it's helping.
I got to see more games.
I agree. It's still. I
don't think I've seen. I don't think it's the scheme. I don't think it's the scheme.
I don't think it's the scheme. I think it's up top.
I think it's the coaching. I think him and Sirianni are just not.
The players
clicking.
do like Sirianni as a person, but as a coach, I don't really see that respect. I think the leader of the locker room is him, not the coach.
I agree.
And that's concerning.
He said in the locker room.
Not like concerning that he's a leader, but like concerning that the head coach really isn't looked at that.
Locker room video said to his teammates, this is a player-run organization.
It's a player-led team. I remember that. Love the discourse, but we got to get to our next topic. We will be going to the board for this. The order is Carter, Ryan, Cadyn, me. It is the worst trades in NFL history. You'll be giving your personal hot take. Could be hot, could be cold, depending on who you are. Of the worst NFL take in history. Carter, kick it off.
Okay, so for my worst trade in NFL history, it's going to be an interesting one because it's not necessarily like a bad transaction.
Okay.
It's what happened in that transaction. And that transaction has to do with this guy. So let's go back down memory lane, 2017 draft, 2016 draft, it's around that. And Bills have the 10th overall pick. So Buffalo Bills and Chiefs, they have some sort of rivalry. Well, the Chiefs didn't have the 10th overall pick, but Mahomes was taken with the 10th overall pick. How did the Chiefs get Mahomes? They traded with the Bills. Well, it looks like they're haunting the Bills for probably, the next 10 years because the Bills can't seem to beat the Chiefs when it matters. And this guy's got 3 Super Bowl rings already. And I'm not here to say the Bills were going to draft Mahomes or that's what they should have done. But it's kind of like, man, we really gave Andy Reid Patrick Mahomes. And, that really stinks. Yeah. There's so many things we could say about other transactions where, some other team won. It was a landslide on, who won the trade, who didn't. This is just would keep me up at night if I'm the Bills. Because I'm we gave the Chiefs arguably the most talented quarterback of all time. And that stinks. And I'm glad he's in the AFC because he's a nightmare to play against because he's the best player in the NFL. So that is my worst trade. I mean, they still got Tre'Davious White and all that and a couple other great guys, but
Tre'Davious White's not even
he's not even on the squad anymore.
Exactly.
I think he was actually a healthy inactive for the Rams.
He could have been.
He's
gone through 4 knee injuries.
Yeah,
So,
I think he's unfortunately cooked, but
unfortunately,
I like it.
That's what I had.
There was also another criminal move in this draft when the Bears came up for Trubisky instead of Watson and Mahomes.
Yeah, that's up there.
That was this draft.
Ryan, it's all on you.
All right, so my pick for the worst trade ever, and I don't even think it's particularly close, is Deshaun Watson. $230 million guaranteed. 6 draft picks, 3 of them first, that went on to become players like Tank Dell, C.J. Stroud, etc. On top of that, he is a scumbag. One of the worst of the worst. But they gave him $230 million guaranteed, and they're set back at least 5 years.
Probably more.
Dead cap hit of $60 million this year, something like that.
Should have just kept Baker.
He's just nothing like how the player that he used to be. He's been miserable. He's one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. He's ranked 30th in QBR.
But he wasn't
It's just ridiculous. I watched him give up on a play yesterday, just walk off the field when they had a chance to score. He walked off, delay of game, they had to kick a field goal. Stefanski was livid with him. And it's just been a total disaster for the Browns organization. That they just have to cut their losses, get rid of him, and just start fresh.
Bad football team.
Yeah.
Bad football organization.
I was about to say
bad football organization.
Those jerseys are kind of clean. I was looking at it anybody else wearing that? I'd be like, yeah, that's sick. But
bad football player.
Yeah.
He's a
bad football player.
He's a bad guy. He's a villain.
Bad player, bad dude.
Well,
all right,
my
Cadyn,
pick for one of the worst transactions in a while actually has to do a little something with Deshaun Watson. I picked sending DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals for a second-round pick and the ghost of David Johnson.
Definitely the ghost.
A lot of people, for some reason, think that DeAndre Hopkins was washed when this happened. 3 straight first-team All-Pros. In those 3 years, he averaged 105 catches, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. He was very much still upper echelon wide receiver in the NFL. And David Johnson was not that 2016 David Johnson. This occurred in the offseason of 2020. So this was 4 years after that really nice season David Johnson had. But a second-round pick and a washed running back for an elite wide receiver, to me, why would you do that if you're the Texans with a young quarterback who was good at the time, Deshaun Watson? Young Deshaun Watson was a good quarterback. I feel like we can acknowledge that. So you gave away his number 1 target for a second-round pick. Okay, that's fine, I guess. That wouldn't be as bad if Stephon Diggs also got traded to the Bills that offseason for a first, a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth.
Wicked.
And you could argue that at that moment in time, DeAndre Hopkins was a better wide receiver than Stephon Diggs.
He was.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a hot take.
When we had that trade, I was so happy. Got Jefferson.
I mean, that was objectively, that was a great trade for both sides. But this trade was not good for both sides because the Texans were really bad. Obviously, they're in a better situation now. And maybe without this, they wouldn't have Stroud and all these other guys. They had to be bad to get the good. So that was just transactionally a really bad trade, in my opinion. And I don't understand why it happened. And that's why.
I like it. I'm going to get through mine very quickly. It is not the worst trade in NFL history, but it's the worst trade in my organization as to date. Put it up there. I'm ready. Trading LaShawn McCoy to the Bills. Why? Don't know. What was the purpose? Don't know. For a linebacker named Kiko Alonso, where is he now? Don't know. There's just a lot of don't knows. Shady's coming off an 1,000-yard rushing year back then, which was very positive, very important. He was also the rushing leader in the NFL, and we were just in the playoffs. and he was part of the big three. You see how it just doesn't make sense why we traded him? I still don't know to this day. Chip Kelly, let me know.
Yeah.
And, LaShawn McCoy for Kiko Alonso, it's got to be the worst trade in my memory. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as
They
that.
hate Chip Kelly.
I think
those 2010s.
I'm pretty sure it was
yeah.
literally because the players and Chip Kelly didn't get involved, and Chip Kelly meddled with that a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Deshaun Jackson hated Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
Like all those
I haven't heard
players
one
back then.
positive thing about Chip Kelly and the Eagles
They hate
together.
that guy.
And it's not going to start now. But we got to get on to our next segment. A little low on time, so let's pick it up just a little bit. Recognize the rookie. Here we go.
All right.
Next slide. Okay, what do we think, guys? Oh, I have no. Earn first.
That's Chop Robinson. Can see it in the eyes. Number 44 in college.
In the
okay.
yeah. Big
okay.
10 honors for Steve.
Okay.
I think that's Chop Robinson.
Lock it in.
I'll roll with that.
Lock it in.
Yeah.
Chop Robinson.
Rookie.
Please.
Lock it in.
Bang.
That's
There we
great.
go.
That's good
There
stuff.
we
I
go.
couldn't be loud and
There we
wrong.
go.
I needed that.
No, there we go. That's good.
Man, that's right
good.
off the bat.
Yeah, I
That's
saw it
good.
in the eyes, man.
I like it.
Oh,
all right. Okay.
Light
Yeah.
work.
I mean, do we have to?
Mr.
I mean,
Marv.
Yeah.
Maserati. I mean,
Yeah.
Maserati Marv.
Maserati Marvin Harrison. I like it.
Bang.
Nice. Still better than the neighbors, but we'll get to there.
Lord.
Okay.
Oh, I know who that is. Mr. Drake May.
He listens to Rod Wave before games. That's
that is
I would
definitely
have
May.
never.
Yeah.
Because the brothers, too. I remember seeing that video. Where
Okay.
the
Telling you,
brothers,
it's the eyes, man. I can just
So
tell.
we're locking in Drake
Yeah.
May.
Drake May.
Up numbers.
Lock Drake May in. I would have never known he listens to Rod Wave.
Yeah, he does not strike me as a
Like
guy.
that's what I'm saying. I would have never known he listens to Rod Wave before
Okay.
games.
I didn't know you knew ball like that. Okay.
Oh, Caleb.
Yeah, I'm about to say it kind of
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like him. It kind of looks like
That's
him.
what gave it
Yeah,
away.
yeah,
$10 million in
Oh, okay.
NIL
Yeah,
deals.
that'll do it.
Oh, well,
And-
also
oh, yeah,
Oklahoma.
I'm not even reading the things,
Yeah,
to
I
be
just
honest.
saw
I
him,
just
yeah.
look at the pictures. But
That's
yeah,
Caleb
that
Williams,
is
yeah.
Caleb. for
Okay,
sure.
Caleb Williams. Lock it in.
4 for 4.
Now we went
Call
4
us
for 4.
Wendy's, man.
If any other roster can do that, tell them come see us.
That's pretty good.
Simple as that, because they can't. I don't think they can.
I don't think they could
I don't think
either.
so.
On to tonight, our Monday night football predictions. We have Nola versus the Chiefs. How we feeling?
You want to touch on this first?
Yeah, I could touch on it a little bit. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I think they're going to win big. I know this is like a popular upset pick. Go ahead, do yourself a little Google search on the injury report. I know they're missing Rashee Rice, but I think it's worse for the Saints. You're going into Arrowhead, and that O-line's banged up. And Chris Jones, a Hall of Famer, is on the other side of that line. And he's going to eat them up. I think Chris Jones is going to be the MVP of that game. I think he's going to have a multi-sack game. And I think the Chiefs are going to win 30-16.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
I'm with Carter on that. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be closer. I said 24-17. I'll go more conservative. No Rashee Rice, like you said, concerns me. I think Mahomes loves going to him underneath. I think he had like 12, 14 targets last game, which is pretty dang good. But my biggest thing for this game is that we all know that the Saints' new coordinator, Kubiak,
Right.
he's doing well with that Shanahan-style offense.
I like it.
But for me, I don't think Kansas City is fazed by Shanahan-style offenses.
We'll see.
How many times are they going up against the Niners in the Super Bowl? How many times,
Well, the
they've
Niners
played
are
in these
chokers.
games.
The Niners are chokers.
Yeah, but that scheme is good. You got to admit.
Scheme is
Niners,
good.
the
Scheme is
Shanahan
good.
tree worked for a reason. So I think they've seen these, offenses. They're a little used to it. And I think that plays a big part in them winning the football game tonight, and which I think they will, 24-17.
Talk to me, Ryan.
I mean, I think the Saints have kind of come back to earth a little bit in recent weeks.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not put up major numbers against the Eagles' defense? I don't think the Chiefs have looked amazing, but they just keep winning games. And I think that's the hallmark of an elite team that just knows how to win no matter what. And I look at this, and I just think Mahomes and Chiefs win pretty easily. I'm thinking 24-10.
Okay.
24-10, 24-13.
Okay. So, y'all know my character. Got to be different. Give me Nola.
Okay.
Give me
Respect
Nola.
that.
I'm going to go.
You think Derek Carr's going to win an Arrowhead?
I don't like Derek Carr. Don't ask me that. Give me Nola. I'm
This
going to
was
go.
in Nola.
Oh,
I'm going to go 24-17.
Okay.
I'm going to choose your score, but I'm going to go 24-17. I think Travis Kelce has a big game, though.
I can
think
see
Travis
it.
Kelce
He
has
has
to.
to.
He's-
Who
I think
else
he has
is
a big
breakout?
game.
I
I think
think
he has a
be
big
Juju.
game.
I think Kareem Hunt is due. I think they're going to use him in the passing
He's
game.
in my lineup. And what
I
about
think they're going to use him in the passing game a
so
little more.
They might.
need that.
I don't know. Travis is on my team. He has a good game. I have a good game. Let's keep it
There
there.
you go.
Let's keep it
fire.
there. Well, guys, this was
It's a great show.
Great show.
pretty fun. I had a good time.
Are we surprised?
Yeah, fun. I'm not.
I'm not.
We
Just-
went
it's-
4 for 4.
It's the standard that we just hold
Likewise.
ourselves
Wendy's,
to.
baby.
The standard. You know, Nick Volpe, he helps create the standard. We maintain the
Shout
standard.
out Volpe, man.
I think that's it. All right, guys. Well, I'm Derrick, Ryan, Cadyn, Carter. We're 360 Sports. Do we have a show tomorrow that we want to show?
Yeah.
We do? Okay, cool. I didn't want to.
College
College
football, baby.
We have college football tomorrow. Definitely tune in. Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders. Am I missing anyone? Cam Ward.
Ewers, is he back now, right?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
Genty,
They play
that
Georgia
guy's a
this week?
monster.
Or is that
Genty
next
is.
week?
Ooh,
Yeah, he's a
that's
monster.
going to be a good one.
He's good,
And they keep sitting
Yeah.
him.
for real. 4? Oh,
Oh,
who am
yeah,
I
Penn
bugging?
State is.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
ranked
We're not
fourth.
going to talk
Penn
too much
State-
about
I'm
that
sorry, I'm sorry.
until final
I'm sorry.
score comes in
I'm
against
like
Penn
a
USC.
State,
Yeah.
Penn
Yeah.
State is number 4.
That's
no, everybody
crazy. I'm
needs
sorry,
to
that's
take
a
a
little, like,
picture.
worried about it.
Everybody, let's go
Crazy.
take a picture of this. This is great. Anyway,
Just beat USC.
we've had a
Literally.
great time with y'all at 360 Sports. I'm Derrick. You know their names. Hopefully I said it a lot.
You got us.
Thank you guys. Hope to see you next time.